I never thought I'd be making a video talking about professional wrestling ever again here on the channel. But this is so big, so monumental, that I had to break my vow. I had to come on and talk about this. Because this quite possibly could be the biggest story in professional wrestling history. I thought of it off the top of my head, and there's only a few other stories I can think of that could rival this in comparison. The steroid scandal of 1994, the Montreal screw job, WCW being bought out by WWF in 2001, the Chris Benoit double murder suicide in 2007, and the invention of the WWE Network in 2014. Those are the only stories I can think of that could compare to what I'm about to talk about. But honestly, this might be the biggest story to ever hit professional wrestling. I knew this day was going to come, but I was expecting it to be a very long while from now. I was expecting this man to be in power until he is no longer on this earth. Well, things definitely changed, didn't they? Vince McMahon, Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr., the son of Vince McMahon Sr., the man who has revolutionized professional wrestling ever since taking the spot from his father in 1982. Nearly 40 years later, after 40 years, is stepping down as CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment. Vince McMahon is responsible for WWE basically going from a small market professional wrestling company that used to do their shows in Madison Square Garden all the time in New York, and turning that into the biggest global wrestling company of all time. He turned WWE into a household name. From the Hogan era, to the New Generation era, to the Attitude era, to the Ruthless Aggression era, to the PG era, Vince has done it all. He has been solely responsible for some of the greatest eras in professional wrestling, and some of the worst too. He's come up with some of the most insane ideas in professional wrestling history, some of the most creative ideas in professional wrestling history, and he has done a lot of good for professional wrestling. I will give him that, and there's no arguing against that. Vince McMahon, creativity-wise, perhaps is the greatest creative booker in professional wrestling history. When people ask who's the greatest booker in professional wrestling history, who is the greatest CEO in professional wrestling history, most people, if not all, are going to say the name Vince McMahon. However, Vince is not perfect. Nobody is. And Vince has done a lot of really, really dirty, disgusting, vile, unforgivable behavior in his life. I never thought that it would be behavior that would lead to him resigning from his position of power in WWE. Well, if this news turns out to be true, then I can understand exactly why he needs to step down. I had to do a little bit of research because I found out about this, believe it or not, I found out about this from a VTuber Discord server I'm in. I don't really keep up with professional wrestling anymore, but I was in a VTuber Discord server and somebody came in and said, "Hey, did you hear the news about Vince McMahon?" And obviously, me not keeping up with the time, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was like, what's going on with Vince? Is he like, is he sick or something? Is he getting back into the ring to try to wrestle again or something? Did he do something really stupid? And they said no, Vince is stepping down as CEO. What? Like, I had to do a double take when I read that because I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was thinking, okay, you must be pulling my fucking leg. You gotta be joking. Like, there's no way this is real. So I go on the good old Google machine, looked it up, and holy shit. Vince is literally the number one trend around the world right now. Twitter is Twitter's going crazy, Reddit's going crazy. Every major professional wrestling site is going absolutely fucking crazy right now. This might be, like I said at the beginning, this might be the biggest story to ever hit professional wrestling. Ever. Like, the other stories I brought up, yeah, they're pretty big, but I don't know. This might really be the biggest story to ever hit professional wrestling. I knew it would happen one day. I knew that there would come a day where Vince would no longer be around. But I expected him to continue doing this until he was no longer alive. I always thought of Vince McMahon as being this stubborn old man who refused to step down. You know how, people like to make fun of old people when kids get in their yards and they come out and like, get your ball off my yard! Get off my lawn! I always thought Vince McMahon was that type of person, stuck up, stubborn, refusing to step down. Well, I guess I was wrong. 40 years. Damn. 40 years of being in power of WWE until today. Mark this day on your calendar. July 22nd, 2022 is a day that will live in wrestling history forever. It's the day where Vince McMahon finally, after 40 years, stepped down as CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment. I've grown up my entire life pretty much being a WWF/WWE fan. Now, the WWE wasn't my first exposure to professional wrestling. My very first exposure to professional wrestling was WCW. I was a WCW fan before I became a WWF fan. The only reasons I became a WWE fan was I was getting tired. Number one, I was getting tired of WCW and their bullshit of shoving the NWO down everybody's throat over and over and over again. It was cool at first, but it got really redundant and it got really, really stale. Number two, all the young talent that WWE had at that time that they were starting to push. Number three, they were getting edgier, aka the Attitude Era. And number four, some of the antics that WWE was doing was really catching my attention more than WCW. Like the Brian Pillman's Got a Gun segment, Bret Hart, Bret Hart going on that profanity tirade on Monday Night Raw the week before WrestleMania 13. Just a lot of stuff that led me to become a WWE fan during the Attitude Era. I still kept up with WCW every now and again, but I was mostly a WWE fan throughout the Attitude Era. And then I moved down here to Tennessee, and the Ruthless Aggression Era started. WCW and ECW sadly went out of business, unfortunately. We got the stupid fucking invasion angle, which I fucking hate. Worst storyline in wrestling fucking history. Could have been the greatest storyline of all time. But Vince McMahon had his shit all over it. Well, all the main guys wanted to stay home because they... That's a debate for another day. I'm not going to get into that right now. That's a debate for another time. I don't even know if I'm going to do a video talking about that. Well, I'll just say it right here, right now. I fucking hate the invasion angle. It was dumb. It was stupid. It could have made them so much money, but they fucked it up because Vince made it all about himself. Then the Ruthless Aggression Era came along, and there was a time where On the weekdays, I would live with my mom. On the weekends, I would live with my dad. Weekdays, I would watch Monday Night Raw by myself because my mom wasn't really a professional wrestling fan. But on the weekends, I would watch SmackDown with my dad. My dad was a huge professional wrestling fan. He actually got to go see Bruno Sammartino at Madison Square Garden back in the 1960s when Bruno was still the WWF champion during his 10-year-long reign as champion. So my dad's history with wrestling goes way back. And man, just watching SmackDown with my dad, I'm going on a little bit of a nostalgia trip here. Watching SmackDown with my dad, even the bad SmackDowns, like even when we had a bad SmackDown, we would always sit down and just talk about the good old days and stuff when wrestling used to be great. I know if my dad was alive nowadays, we probably wouldn't be watching wrestling, period. He'd probably be so disgusted by what's on TV nowadays, he probably would vow never to watch the shit ever again, except for the old stuff. And by the way, I don't think I ever brought this up, but I'll bring it up now. I do have Peacock. Yes, I do have a Peacock subscription. The only reason I have a Peacock subscription is to go back and watch the old stuff. I don't watch the modern day stuff. I don't keep up with modern day WWE. I don't keep up with modern day wrestling. I haven't even watched the AEW show since 2019 when they first started the company out. I know they got CM Punk, and I know they got Daniel Bryan, and I think Adam Cole went over there last I heard. But I don't fucking watch them. I don't care to. Tony Khan's a fucking mark. He's a piece of shit. Fuck him. Although he's not as bad as Vince. And then the Ruthless Aggression era goes by. My dad died in 2007, in May of 2007, and then of course we all know what happened a month later in June 2007, the whole Chris Benoit stuff. I took a little bit of a break from wrestling, came back around late 07, early 08. I came back right before the Royal Rumble happened in 2008, the one that John Cena came back and won. And I watched wrestling for, I say about a good, 11 years. About a good 11 years, and had my on and off here and there, but I always still stuck around until a few years ago, where I finally decided enough is enough, I need to move on with my life. Why am I wasting my time watching a company that doesn't give a fuck about me, that doesn't give a fuck about giving me an entertaining product? And I just got sick of it, and I ended up just moving on. And personally, I don't see me ever coming back. I don't see me ever coming back watching this shit ever again. Now, I know that SmackDown, at the time of me recording this video, SmackDown is coming on tonight. I could tune in and watch it, and it would be the first time I watched a WWE program since 2019. It would be the first time I've watched a WWE program since 2019. That is insane. But I don't see anything really changing because of this. Yeah, Vince is stepping down. Vince is going to be no longer in the picture, but do I see things changing? No. Not really. No. Stephanie and some guy named Nick Khan are now the CEOs of WWE. I mean, I know who Stephanie McMahon is. I don't know who the fuck Nick Khan is. I've never heard that guy's name before until today. I heard the guy's name as CEO and like, who the fuck is Nick Khan? I don't know who the fuck that guy is. Triple H is supposedly coming back, which, yippee, hooray, I guess. Good for the NXT fans, I guess. I guess Triple H is going to be taking over day-to-day operations of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown now, just like he was with NXT, so whoopee on that. I don't really fucking care, though, but good for the people out there that do. And Hollow Stars are going to be debuting tonight. the VTuber company I like to watch, Hololive, they're debuting their male talent tonight. They actually have two of them debuting tonight. Two of them are going to debut. It's basically four guys. It's four guys. They can speak English. It's the first time ever in Hololive history that they're having a branch of male English talent. Two of them are debuting tonight, two of them are debuting tomorrow, and they just so happen to be debuting literally right around the time SmackDown comes on. So I probably will end up watching the Hollow Star debuts over Friday Night SmackDown. Plus, I don't have any legal way of watching SmackDown. I don't have cable, I don't have satellite. I would have to find a pirated stream, and you know how most pirate streams are. They're fucking crap quality. And I don't feel like fiddling around trying to find a fucking stream to watch something that I haven't kept up with since 2019. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I honestly, the last wrestling show, actually now that I remember, the last wrestling show I did watch was WrestleMania. So I take back what I said earlier about the last wrestling show I saw was in 2019. The last wrestling show I saw was in 2022, and that was WrestleMania. And that's only because I made my friend Shy watch it on Discord. And even us watching on Discord, we didn't know really what the fuck was going on because we haven't been keeping up with the product. I haven't kept up with it. He hasn't kept up with it. He has not watched wrestling since, fuck. I don't think he's watched wrestling since 2011. So he's missed out on wrestling a lot longer than I have. We got to see Stone Cold wrestle one last time, and that was cool. That was pretty cool. I'll give them that. You know, seeing my childhood favorite wrestle one more time. That was a feel-good moment. It kind of brought me back to when I was a kid again. And then it ended, and it's like, well, that sucks now. But anyways, I'm getting so off track. Vince McMahon's no longer CEO of WWE. He stepped down as of this afternoon. Do I see wrestling changing? I seriously doubt it. Am I going to come back to watching wrestling full time? Probably not. I think my passion with modern day professional wrestling is done. I think that's done and buried forever. Then again, you know, if my friend Shy ever pisses me off, if we ever go back watching movies again and he ever pisses me off, I might make him watch a modern day wrestling show. That's if he really, like, he'll have to really piss me off to make him watch a wrestling show. Because I did say after WrestleMania that I would never make him watch a wrestling show again, unless he pisses me off. So, Shy, just a warning of advice, don't ever make me really, really angry, because if you make me really angry, I'm going to have to punish you along with myself, because it would be punishing myself as well, having to sit down and watch this shit. To Vince McMahon, I will say thank you for the memories that you gave me as a kid, as a teenager, as a young adult, and as a full-grown adult now. Thank you for the memories that you gave me through all these years in my life. You gave me a lot of good memories, and you've also gave me a lot of bad memories too. And if these rumors about you are true, then you're fucked, dude. You're fucked. Not only are you going to have to be resigning from WWE, you could be facing possible prison time. And you may think, oh, I'm 76 years old, they won't take me to prison. They don't give a fuck how old you are. They don't give a fuck. Vince, you could be spending the rest of your life in prison. Keep that in mind, everybody. Vince McMahon could be facing prison time. This may be the last time we ever see Vince McMahon in the public eye ever again. Man, what a day. What a fucking day. And this day isn't even halfway over. I don't know what else is going to happen. This is going to be the only time I'm going to talk about this topic here on my channel. I'm not going to discuss this again in future videos. This is a one and done. I just wanted to get out here and make a video on it. I know this wasn't the best in-depth video that, I could have done, but again, my passion for professional wrestling is pretty much dead. The only stuff I watch wrestling-wise is the old stuff, and that's about it. Anyways, this is K-On Gaming HD signing out. Thank you for tuning in. And Vince McMahon, again, thank you for the memories. But at the same time, go fuck yourself. I'm out.